What's up, you guys? 2K Bebo Updates back. If you guys are new, make sure to like, share, subscribe. I'm on the road to monetization. And I want to apologize again because I didn't realize that I was going to make a video on this, but I am going to make a video on this because it's really important. No, I will not be doing any shoutouts today, although I will be shouting out some YouTubers at the end. And with that out of the way, let me get right into the video. So, this video is going to be about information on the Derek Chauvin trial and the result and me explaining it all. And yeah, so I'm gonna just inform you guys, and I want to give you guys the information you guys need to know. So basically speaking, this is the end result. So Chauvin, who is yes 45, has been found guilty of unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. So the thing I found the most confusing was Chauvin didn't really react to a charge like this, and that's a bit odd because usually the defendant or the person that's being tried usually just give a reaction. In this, he did not give a reaction. So I wish I could show you guys the moment he got tried, but I have a feeling that's going to be violating copyright rules, so I'm going to refrain from that. Although I am going to try doing stuff like that in the future. And yeah, so let me give you guys some information. So this is the result: unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. This is what he was being tried for, and this is what the juries, or not the juries, the jurors found him guilty of. And I'm going to search up jurors, Derek Chauvin, um, information for the informing of what the jurors are. This is from CNN. Um, so let's see. So obviously, if you guys don't know about this case, George Floyd, who is a 46-year-old black man, he died on May 25th. This is I believe this is the exact date of the infamous video, and this was after Chauvin put his knee on George Floyd's neck for a certain amount of time, which is seen right here, 9 minutes 29 seconds, and I don't know. Okay, here it is. So that's some backdrop. The person defending Chauvin is Eric Nelson. I'm going to be giving you more information about him later in this video. So in this jury, what this is going to be taking place in Hennepin County, which is 74% white and 40% black. And the prospective jurors that wanted to participate in this trial had to answer a questionnaire, which I'm not going to be going into in depth about. And this was their thoughts about Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, and the thoughts of Chauvin and Floyd themselves. And it was also about if they watched the video. So the first juror for this trial was a white male in his 20s or 30s, and he works as a chemist. And he said that he has an analytical mind, so he looks at the facts. The second juror was a woman of mixed race who appeared to be in her 20s or 30s, and she was super excited about getting the jury questionnaire form. I'm very confused about that because there's a lot of stress on the jurors, so this is very interesting. The third juror was a white male, and he works as an auditor. He says he supports Black Lives Matter. No, yeah, Black Lives Matter, and but he doesn't like everything they've done. That's the third juror. The fourth juror was a black male, and he was in his 30s or 40s who moved to the United States. So basically, he was an immigrant. And he said that he had a somewhat negative opinion of Chauvin and disagreed with defunding the police, and that police make him feel safe. And the fifth woman was a no, not fifth woman. The fifth juror was a white woman in her 50s, and she had a somewhat negative impression of Chauvin and believes there are biases about African Americans and not everyone is bad. And the sixth juror was a African American male, and according to the court, he was very favorable of Black Lives Matter, and he said he thought Chauvin had no intention of harming anyone, and he could put his opinion aside on this case. The seventh juror was a white woman in her 50s. Wait, why do I feel like I read this already? I think these two are twins because they're the same age. No, I'm just kidding. And she had a somewhat negative impression on Chauvin and wrote that got the impression he didn't care about Floyd. And the eighth juror was a African American male in the 40s, and he worked in management. And he had a somewhat favorable view of Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter. Oh wow, there's a lot of these jurors. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna continue on. Where did I leave off? Okay, here it is. So this guy, who's an African American male, had a favorable view of Black Lives and Blue Lives Matter. So the ninth juror was a multi-mixed race woman in her 40s, and she had a somewhat negative opinion on Chauvin, but feels safe because of police. And the court initially incorrectly stated her as white, but she identifies as mixed race. The tenth juror was a white woman in her 50s, and she works as a nurse, and she says that police make her safe. But she also notes that minority and African American people aren't always treated fairly. The 11th juror was a black woman and a grandmother in her 50s and 60s who once lived 10 blocks from where Floyd died. And she was a relative of a Minneapolis police officer and agrees that black people aren't always treated fairly. The 12th juror was a white woman in her 40s who works in real estate, and she has a healthy respect for police officers and a somewhat favorable opinion on Black Lives Matter. And the 13th juror was a white woman in her 50s, and she worked in a suburban business. And she said that actually, this is actually remarkable. Her building was damaged after the unrest for Floyd's death, and she had a negative view on Chauvin. And I'm only saying this remarkable because it's very rare that you have a juror directly impacted with the result of a aftermath. But this is interesting. And the 14th juror was a wait, no, never mind, I'm wrong. This woman was actually dismissed because of previous deliberations. The 14th woman, no, I'm going to skip this one too because she was also dismissed. And a 15th juror who was a white male who worked as an accountant was chosen but was absent but was excused due to the prior opening statements. And yeah, that's all I need to know about the jurors. And the defense did call up his witnesses. I'm not going to go too in depth about that because that's going to take me an hour, and I'm going to end up, like, it's just going to take too long. And I'm not going to go over the prosecutions either because that's going to take even longer. But the point is, these are the 12 people that convicted Derek Chauvin of unintentional second degree murder, third degree murder, and second degree manslaughter. And yeah, and the one question that was asked throughout this trial was, did they see the video? I'm very surprised if you didn't see the video. I did see the video actually, and honestly, I'm not gonna say what I thought about it because that breaks my political norms. But yeah, I saw the video, and what's weird is someone in this trial did not see the video. This was one of the jurors. I forgot who it was. Which is a bit confusing because this was all over the news. And yeah, so that's it with this video. And this basically did a brief summary of the Derek Chauvin trial. I gave a brief summary of these 12 jurors, and I gave a brief summary of the charges, and all three charges were resulted. And the defense, I think I watched the end of the trial. They said that they have a couple weeks to do some appeals, but I honestly don't know if that's going to even make sense. Chauvin is facing up to 40 years in jail, and by the time he gets out, he'll be 85 years old. And yeah, that's gonna do it with this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I am not gonna be giving out shout outs today because it's a bit of a late video. And yeah, have a good day, and please stay safe.